Hi everyone, my name is Nathan Bender, and today I am going to be proposing implementation for an application that I've created for my senior project at Drexel University. People who suffer from various muscular disorders are unable to move or speak, causing communication to be almost impossible. This project will allow these people to communicate with their loved ones through the use of a computer. The app that I've created is called Connectome, which is a biological term for the map of neural networks in the brain. More specifically, the connectome has been used extensively to capture how the brain works, in order to be able to read and understand brain signals when different actions and thoughts are made. Now, just a little about myself. I am currently a senior studying software engineering at Drexel University in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I am creating this application for my senior project that will be completed over the 3 terms or 9 months during my senior year. This will start in September and end in June when I graduate. Through my 3 previous co-ops or internships, 2 of which were at eMoney Advisor in Conshohocken, Pennsylvania, and 1 at JP Morgan Chase in Wilmington, Delaware, I have become extremely experienced in both web application development as well as project management. The skills that I gained, including the technical, organizational, and management skills, as well as my other educational and professional experiences, make me the optimal person for implementation of this project. I just want you to picture the scene in your head. Imagine being confined to a chair, unable to move and speak. Now imagine the people that you love, your mother, your children, your friends, are all around you, telling you that they love you and constantly taking care of you. You are completely aware of your surroundings, but unable to communicate back to these people that you love them and appreciate what they are doing for you. This is the experience that people who suffer from neuromuscular diseases experience every hour, every minute, every second of every day. Finding a way to help these people communicate would go a long way to improving the quality of life of these people with such a simple, everyday action that we take for granted. There are many different neuromuscular diseases throughout the world which increasingly diminish the quality of life of people suffering from them. 2 of the most popular and well-known diseases under this category are ALS and MS, or multiple sclerosis. Each of these diseases are slightly different, having various different symptoms, life expectations, and causes. However, almost all of these diseases include muscle impairment and paralysis. The disease that I will be focusing on for this project is for patients who suffer from ALS. There are currently over 12,000 cases of ALS in the United States, which equates to about 3.9 cases per 100,000 people. This may not seem like a very high number, but currently there are really no clear solutions for the problem of communication amongst these people. So what exactly is ALS? ALS stands for amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, but is more commonly known as Lou Gehrig's disease. ALS occurs due to degeneration in the muscular neurons, most specifically in the spine for late stages, causing the person affected to lose their use of their body, including their ability to speak. The symptoms, as stated earlier, include both paralysis and muscle impairment. One of the most famous people known for suffering from this disease is the astrophysicist Stephen Hawking. Unable to move or speak, Hawking does have a solution for the communication problem, where he is able to speak through a computer that reads brain signals and translates them into speech. However, this solution is not feasible for the average person since this is extremely expensive. There have been devices created to allow disabled users to use a computer. However, without the ability to move, these devices are all infeasible since they all require the controlled ability to move some part of the body. There are extremely expensive solutions such as the one that Hawking uses, as well as other laboratory machines, but these are all much too expensive for everyday use. Therefore, even through a computer, communication is still almost impossible. The application that will solve this problem that I am proposing is a 2-pronged solution. First is the input to the system. An off-the-shelf EEG machine will be used to control the computer through a series of mental commands. There are various solutions that are relatively inexpensive, so the everyday person would be able to afford them, but not as powerful as a professional medical one would be. The patient would just need to put the system on their head, connect it to their computer, and would be off to the races. The second part of the project is the actual creation of the application. The application will leverage 3 big social media sites: Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Social media sites have become an increasingly common way of interaction among people, so what better way to communicate with friends and family than leveraging these existing sites? Users will be able to communicate through all of the existing mechanisms that these sites provide. The EEG machine that we'll be using is called the Emotiv. Through the use of Bluetooth, the headset just needs to be placed on the person's head and synced with the computer. It is important to note, however, that this machine does not read the mental commands of a user, but is able to tell the difference between 2 mental commands. Therefore, the entire application, including keyboard input, will need to be navigated through a series of yes or no choices. Here is a brief timetable for the creation of this project. First, we'll include patient interviews, which includes understanding the capabilities of each of the patients in order to make sure in advance that the solution is feasible. The next step is the creation of the software, including basic testing of the completed app once finished. User studies will also be conducted to meet with actual ALS patients and have them use each page of the application, monitoring their actions in order to determine any changes that need to be made. Finally, updates will be made based on the outcomes of the user studies. Overall, the project will be complete over a 9-month span and should take approximately 120 hours to complete. For this project, I will need 2 emotives, GIFs for the user studies, software for the development of the project, and cloud databases. The total budget for the project will be approximately $2,800. So what exactly do I need for this project? Funding for the budget that I proposed on the last page will be needed. While this project will in the short run not accrue any financial benefits, this sum will allow to improve the quality of life of patients. Access to the ALS Research Laboratory at Drexel University, called the Center for Hope, will also be extremely helpful. Being able to interact with various doctors and researchers will allow me to ask any questions that I need, as well as have access to ALS patients. Creating an application to allow patients that are unable to move or speak that allows a person to communicate with their friends and family will go a long way to improving their quality of life. Communication is one of the most basic fundamentals of everyday human life, and without this, life becomes lonely and depressing. I just wanted to thank you for listening to this proposal, and I hope that you will consider approving the budget and granting me access to the Center of Hope to allow for creation of this application. Thank you.